the top. I respect the way you step, the way you get down, the way you get down, the way you get down.
What's going on, everybody? My name is King James, and today we're going to be talking about the controversial Cardi B. Now, for those of you who do not know, Cardi B has found herself in hot water after a tweet she made regarding a large amount of money. The tweet says, "Should I spend $88,000 for this damn purse? Oh my gosh, it's tempting." Now, this one tweet has caused a firestorm of controversy because a lot of people feel that Cardi B is being, tone deaf and not really understanding the situation that is going on for the average American. For those of you who may not realize, we're in a pandemic right now. And a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are in poverty. A lot of people are losing their jobs. They can't afford to go to work. People have died left and right. We have over 250,000 people who have died from the coronavirus. And we've had a lot of people, over 10 million, I believe, that have been infected. So for Cardi B to make a comment like that felt incredibly tone deaf, but she doesn't really seem to get it. And I understand why a lot of people are annoyed by that. And a lot of people feel that she's insensitive and not considering a lot of people, including her fans, that are poor and struggling at this moment. Now, you do have your set of people that are saying, well, hey, it's her money. She can do whatever she wants to. And that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, why do you have to broadcast that? Why do you have to put that out on Front Street? Why do you have to bring people in and say, hey, should I spend this much on this much money? Spend this much on something like a purse when there are so many people who don't even make that throughout the year that are trying to buy food. And for me personally, as someone who does help and have a food drive that they do to help people eat where I'm from, I found it a very sickening, disgusting, and tone deaf comment. Yeah, you can buy whatever you want, but why do you have to broadcast that? So then that leads me to another situation, because it wasn't just the tweet that bothered me. It was this idea of a comment that somebody had posted under it. When I gave, my piece saying that I like Cardi B as a human being. She seems very fun, but I feel like that is tone deaf. And somebody just called me a hater, saying if you got it, flaunt it. If you got it, you should be able to flex and stunt on people. And that's the problem that I'm having. Now, for those of you who don't realize, lately there's been this huge, controversy and huge deal surrounding a bunch of rappers being killed left and right. It's become such a toxic environment, and it always has been pretty hard, concerning crime and all these other things in the rap community and the hip hop community. But it seems like left and right in this past year, it's gotten even worse. It seems like once a month, a rapper or a hip hop artist is being killed. And so then it brings me back to wonder, why do people feel the need to stunt on people? Why do people feel the need to, flex on people? Why do people feel the need to always put what they have on Front Street or broadcast it for the entire world? This has been such a big deal. And recently, the rapper Jim Jones, who's known from the song Ballin', came out to speak about this. And so what I want you to do is listen to what he had to say. Take a look at this interview.
I was telling somebody the other day that to be a rap artist is the most dangerous job in the world.
Why you say that?
Wow, okay.
Why I say that?
Yeah.
It's more dangerous than going to war in Iraq. Because you're always on defense. You don't know who's who. People can get right up on you and try to do something to you. You're always getting into beef. How many times we heard rappers, tour buses get shot up this week?
You have a record speaking on that with Capo, talking about the good die young.
Yes. I mean, it's just the whole persona of being a rapper and shit is fucked. You know what I mean? You 9 times out of 10, these kids that are rappers, I wouldn't say they were good kids and angels, but they did half the shit they rapped about when they got a rap deal. They wait till they get a rap deal to get their first record. And I'm talking about record on the radio. I'm talking about record with the law. You know what I mean? They wait till they get a rap deal to start packing all these guns and carrying all these guns. They wait till they get a rap deal to start using these excessive drugs. And these kids are what, 18, 19, 20? So you're not going to sit here and tell me, oh, you've been doing this. When? When you been doing this? You just was in high school. You dig? So don't hit me with the Pablo stories. I don't want to hear none of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, this is how fucked up rap is.
Because you still got to deal with that energy.
Sooner or later, a lot of these rappers going to go broke, and I'm telling you because I've been there. You dig? That balling habit is a fucked up habit. It's worse than doing crack cocaine. spending money.
Yeah, people forget Will Smith blew his first million. He said he got the.
I think
what
he
is it?
blew more than his
More than
first
that,
million. That
yeah.
nigga said he was renting out the whole Gucci store, closing the Gucci store doors. You heard? But I know how it is because I've done the same
it's easy
thing.
to
Like
do that.
I was going wild, like wow.
Do you feel responsible for a little bit of that?
of what? What these kids
Of
is
that
doing?
culture? Because you created balling, you know.
I didn't create
Well,
that.
you didn't create it, but, you know, you
I stole that
spearheaded.
ad lib from Tupac.
So that was Jim Jones giving his opinion. And honestly, I have to say that I think it was full of garbage. Like, rapping and hip hop music is not the most dangerous job on earth. And the fact that he compared that to the military, where people are literally going to war to protect our country, and it's to me is such a dangerous and false equivalency, right? Like, rapping is music. And I think what he doesn't understand is that you can rap, you can do lyrics and stuff and not be a gangster. It's the things that you bring to the music that is causing the controversy. There's plenty of rappers out here that have rapped and retired, or that are non-problematic, or that have lived a good life. And they're not all, rapping about the same things, right? You can rap, but you bring certain things like the gangbanging, you bring the violence, you bring the always wanting the stunt and flex. And I'm a huge fan of the YouTuber Lovely T. And as she would say, you bring this low vibrational energy to certain things. And then when you bring that type of energy, when everything you're saying is about killing, when everything you're saying is about being a gangster and being a thug, these are the things that happens. And then you look at these people who are fans and people are from certain communities and saying, if you got it, flaunt it. I can't wait to get something to stun on folks and to flex on folks. That's part of the problem, is that you want to always flex on people. You always want to flaunt what you have in front of other people who may not be doing as well as you, or who may not have what you have. You have to be mindful of that, because jealousy, as the Bible says, is as cruel as the grave. So while you're going around doing all these things and putting things on blast, notice everybody's not happy for you. And why would you want to flaunt in front of folks who don't have? Why would you want to make other people feel less than? That's part of the problem in itself. So for Jim Jones to say something like that, I think is completely full of garbage. And there's no way that being a rapper is harder than being in the military, and that you always have to be on defense, and that you always have to be on this. Well, if you're rapping about killing people, if you're rapping about doing crime, I mean, what do you expect? Even he said it. Like, the guy called him out and said, but you had that song called Ballin'. He was like, oh, we have to get rid of this baller mentality. That's your claim to fame. Like, nobody even knows any music you even have aside from the song Ballin'. You are part of that culture that makes things a certain way, saying like, we have to do things in front of people. We have to make people feel less than. It's so sad today that people can't even be blessed securely without thinking about, what can I do to put something in front of other people's face. Like, I'm not wearing a suit just to look nice. I'm not wearing nice clothes just to look nice. I'm not going to buy me this car because it's a nice, dependable car. The first thing I'm thinking about is, oh, who can I stunt on? Who can I make feel bad? Who can I make feel insecure? Who can I show that I'm better than? And that's part of the problem. If you ever notice real rich people who have money, you would never know that they're rich, because they don't feel the need to broadcast it. They don't feel the need to say, look at me, I have money. They don't feel the need to say, you know what? I got so much stuff and I'm better than all y'all. And anybody who says anything, you're a bunch of haters. It's like people want people to hate off them nowadays. People want people to feel insecure because of them. People want to do things. People are buying stuff and dressing in certain ways just because other people can't do it, and it gives them some type of validation. It's sickening, really. It's disgusting. And so for Cardi B to say something like that, and invite all these different people and ponder, oh, well, should I buy a $88,000 purse? Like, if you want to buy a purse that costs that much, just buy it. You're rich. You have the right to treat yourself. You have the right to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You have made it. You deserve it. Do it. But don't bring that type of comment to people who are literally starving and can't afford to eat. I myself started my own food drive just because I saw how bad the pandemic was hurting people. And so you have an obligation to your fans to at least try to be a role model, right? That's something that you really need to think about in the future. So do I think that Cardi B intentionally meant to hurt people's feelings and to make them feel bad and do certain things? No, I do not. But I do think Cardi B needs to be mindful and more respectful of her fans and know that everybody doesn't have what she has, and to understand that and to try to, just be cognizant. And it's not about hating and it's not about being mean towards her. It's about, you need to understand about being a better and a more decent individual. You wouldn't go to a homeless shelter and talk about your mansion, or you wouldn't go to a area where a bunch of poor people are and say, I wonder if I should buy this new $3 million mansion, right? There's just certain things you don't do just because they're tone deaf, right? And for Jim Jones, I think he needs to understand that rapping is not the same as what he tries to make it out to be. Like, rapping is not dangerous in itself, and there's a lot of good rappers. But when you bring all this idea about gang banging, when you bring all these ideas about killing and murdering people, when you bring all these ideas about violence and all this other stuff, what do you expect to happen? So maybe you should change that tone a little bit. And if you change your lyrics, and understand there's hate that's going to come to you regardless, but when you're trying to walk around and stun in front of everybody and trying to do all these type of low vibrational energies, it attracts a certain type of energy. Remember, what you put out is exactly what you get back. But anyway, I'm King James. Tell me what you think. This is my new YouTube channel. I have a gaming channel that's successful, but this is my YouTube channel where I want to focus on current events and celeb news and other things like that. So like, subscribe, and help me grow my YouTube channel. I'm just a new YouTuber trying to make it out in these YouTube streets. Thanks, and remember, I was almost about to give you my little pickup line for my gaming channel. But just remember, y'all, be mindful, be cognizant, be aware.